everybody, how are you? And welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about the Cattleya. The Cattleya is also known as it's an orchid, it's an air plant, but this is what they use when they make corsages. So, is your plant. So, this is a humid loving plant. So before I get into everything, remember in the times today to wear your mask when you are out at the nurseries looking at plants to buy. So usually if you see me, and you'll see me at work, I'm kind of like in this is the mode you'll see me at work when I am talking. But remember to wear your mask out in public, please, please, please remember. Wash your hands often also. So we are going to talk about the Cattleya orchid. Now, the Cattleya orchid is also the corsage, and you will find fragrance here. It smells, I wish I could put that in a bottle. Do they have that in a bottle as a perfume? It smells wonderful. Now, I probably had this, I actually went to a show of air plants here in Florida at the Ohio, or not Ohio, excuse me there. It was at the Edison Ford in Fort Myers, and I had purchased this. And at the time when I had purchased it, the bud wasn't even bloomed yet. So I've probably now had this about a couple of weeks, and once they flower, the flower will stay on here, I do believe, about 3 weeks before it'll fall off or die. And I started to notice where my stem right here is getting that yellowish green, so it's going to start dying, and I wanted to get the video out before that happens, because yes, they will only bloom once, but you can achieve for them to bloom again, or if you were lucky enough to have another bud, which I do not, it would bloom again. This plant will probably live longer than I am. It is not, it's still young, but they can live up to 100 years. So in this plant world, probably be in my will to give to somebody. So they have a 100-year lifespan. They are native to they are native to Central South America, and was very popular. I'm going to take a seat here. If you guys can see me or not, okay. You guys can still see me. I'll move that over a little bit. Okay. So, and I have some little notes here. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes. Some stuff I do know, and some stuff was informational, and so I wrote it down. So it's native to Central South America, was very popular as a cut flower in the 1950s. So that's when everybody had them, and they used them for corsages, for proms, weddings, and the not so happy time as funerals, or any other time where they had them as cut flowers in little vases. It used to be a very popular, very popular flower to have. I don't, not so much as the plant, but the corsage you could buy anywhere, in a flower store, in your local grocery store. They were a big deal. I don't see that now. I don't see, where you could go into a flower store and purchase them in the little plastic container like when I was in high school. I would see that all the time. Get them on. The girls got them on our wrist all the time. Well, for like dances and things, we would have that. So it was popular in the U.S. as the corsage, and it was for semi-formal and formal events. William Cattley first bloomed this orchid in cultivation in the 1800s. So that was an interesting fact, but I didn't know, and I had to write it down. So again, William Cattley first bloomed this orchid in cultivation in the 1800s. It's still here, but it will live for 100 years. So do not cover up, as you see at the bottom of my plant. Well, it's not even at the base of the plant. You will see these are the roots that are showing. Do not cover them up. If they hang out the pot, leave them alone. Don't try to shove them back into the pot. They are an air plant, and they receive the moisture from the air through these roots that are out. And they like to be in a root. This is a root bound plant, so they like to be in tight little spaces. They don't like the room to grow as other plants do. They like to be in a confined area. And the large bloom of this kind of orchid is classic. You know, it's a classic bloom, and it's, like I said, for events, Mother's Days, weddings, you know, dances, proms, you know, birthdays. That's back then. They were a very common and very popular flower. Oops. There you go. And some will bloom in the spring, but many bloom in the fall at this current time right now. I am in Southwest Florida, so it has humidity. It does well outside. I have it on the table. When I put it inside, it's inside with the central air and central heat, and I just get worried because it's a human-loving plant that if it's inside, you're kind of neglecting it in a way, unless you're going to spray it, that it cannot get the moisture it needs out of, you know, the natural air. And I am one to truly forget about that, because I'm not a green thumb person, but I love the plants. I've been working with the plants, and it just seems a lot easier to have them down here. And what I mean, well, have them is the tropical plants, because most of the stuff is taken care of by nature, and I just don't have to do it. And it's lovely. It's great. So many bloom in the fall as well, and like this one here. And I do have another video that I will do for you, because I do not see the littlest orchid that I have, and it's called a chocolate chip. And it's called a chocolate chip, but it's a different name. This one is also known as the volcano queen. It has many names for this one, but it's a Cattleya, and it has many names. And as you see, there are stakes on here. So don't give it tap water, give it rainwater when you do, or spring water. You do not set it in a soggy pot, so no standing water. You would water it once. What I do in my work is, we call it Orchid Wednesday, and we dunk them. We just dunk them in the water, and that's it. It's for, you know, once a week, and that's all that you do. Make sure you have pots that have the drainage hose on the bottom to drain out any excess water. I also do have some roots that are growing out of the bottom of this one. With this one, I had gotten some fertilizer here. So this fertilizer that I do have is made for just orchids, and it's a mist. It's a spray in a spray form. You do not mix it with water. And all you have to do, make sure you do not spray the flower itself with your fertilizer. You would spray all of the stems, the leaves. You can spray at the bottom, spray your roots. And that's it. That's it for fertilizing. That's how easy it is. This again is your Miracle Grow. This is Orchid Plant Food Mist. And that's all you have to do. There's no mixing with the water. For those that might want to buy this, this is what it is by Miracle Grow. It's the easiest thing that I have found for them to use. And it works well. It works really well for me. Just you have to not spray your flower because your flower will fall off if you do that. So you can give coffee ground, which I do have. Oops, I do have. Here's my big bag of coffee grounds. I actually do receive those from Starbucks for free. I don't know if all Starbucks do this, but the one in my area will give you a big container of free grounds. So I actually not only, you do not put it around the stem of the base, you sprinkle it on the outside when you water so it can get the acid there. I have other plants that are acid-loving plants. Just make sure that when you do use this on acid-loving plants, do not put it right around the base of your plant. You will burn your plant. And when you put them in the pot, it says most of them require 4 to 5 inches, deep of being pot because they like that compactness. They like to be, bound. But if the roots come up and over the side, don't try to shove them back in there. Leave them that way. There's a reason for it. You can repot them. Like I am trying to find something that I will actually like to repot this in. A lot of people will hang them, but I don't have actual trees, as you see in my background. I don't have trees to hang these in. People attach them to trees. They will attach them to boards. They attach them to the side of their house. I see that a lot down here. Since I have moved down here, I have seen a lot of that. They also like eggshells. So if you have eggshells, you can crack up your eggshells, put those around the bottom. They're packed with calcium and potassium. Now, in one of my other videos with the Christmas cactus, I was talking about the potash, which is just straight potassium. That will not work for this one. I would use more of what I had in that video, something that would have a percentage of potash in it. If you do not have that ready, to you, I would use, like I'm telling you now, eggshells, coffee grounds. Make your own natural, organic mixture of fertilizer and use it. I have done that in the past with other plants, and I have gotten good responses on it. So anything else that I can think of, I will have right down below. So if you love this flower, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel so you will be up to date on any of the flowers that I will be bringing to you, or maybe a flower or a plant or a bush or a tree that you might be thinking about purchasing in the future and you want to know more about. So subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, the bell button, and look for the links below to add me on your social media sites, and I will have more information regarding to this orchid that is an everyday lovely fragrant orchid. So, you guys have a great day until my next video. Bye-bye.